Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a student, a job seeker, or maybe just someone looking to totally pivot your career, you already know the deal. AI is literally everywhere right now. But here is the multi-million-dollar question we need to answer today. What specific AI skills are employers actually paying a massive premium for in 2026? Well, we're going to dive right into a highly actionable data-backed guide breaking down the top 10 AI skills commanding the absolute highest salaries today. Let's get into it.
So here's the thing. Literally everyone is learning AI right now. But what are companies actually opening their wallets for? Industry reports from this year are painting a really clear picture. The market has fundamentally shifted. We've completely moved on from the phase of just, learning AI or playing around with a chatbot. Now it's all about a hard, non-negotiable demand for delivering AI. Companies are desperately looking for professionals who can take these incredible models and actually turn them into real, measurable business value.
It's created this massive divide in the job market. On one side, you have the hype. This is your basic prompt experimentation, generating some fun images, or, using AI to write a generic email. Honestly, that entry-level usage is already being automated away. But then you look at the reality. This is where the actual money is. Enterprise companies are pouring funds into real deployments, AI governance, security, and agent orchestration. They aren't looking for casual AI enthusiasts anymore. They are hunting for deployment-ready contributors who can hit the ground running. To put the sheer urgency of this into perspective, let's talk about the number 85 million. That is the staggering number of jobs projected to be displaced by AI and automation by 2026. Sounds terrifying, right? But hold on, because the exact same economic reports show that 97 million new roles are being created at the exact same time. The skills that landed people great jobs back in 2020, they're fading. But this new wave of careers pays more than traditional jobs ever did. Upskilling isn't just a nice-to-have option anymore. It is absolutely crucial for survival. All right, let's officially kick off this countdown at number 10, applied machine learning and deep learning. Think of this as the place where theory finally meets actual business value. You're basically taking messy, chaotic, real-world data and translating it into deployed models for high-stakes applications. We're talking fraud detection in banking or those hyper-accurate recommendation engines in e-commerce. Because the demand for this core tech is so high, salaries are sitting really comfortably between $120,000 and $200,000. But a quick heads up, skip the passive video tutorials. To land this, you absolutely need project-based learning using frameworks like PyTorch and TensorFlow. Coming in hot at number 9 is natural language processing, or NLP. Now this is literally the backbone for every single smart search bar, enterprise LLM, and conversational bot you interact with today. It's all about helping machines actually understand and respond to human language naturally. The salary potential here? Up to $180,000. And it's being heavily utilized in HR tech, legal tech, and deep content analytics. If you want to get hired in this space, you'll need to roll up your sleeves and master tools like Hugging Face, Transformers, and BERT models. Moving to number 8, we hit a somewhat harsh reality. Generic models just don't cut it anymore. Companies want domain-specific AI experts. Why? Because you really have to combine technical AI workflows with deep niche industry context. The demand for this kind of vertical AI is just exploding, and it commands a massive salary premium. Think about incredibly complex systems like anti-money laundering in fintech or diagnostic imaging in healthcare. You learn this by engineering features from highly specific data sets like FHIR in healthcare or Bloomberg APIs in finance, and then mapping those directly to business goals. Number 7 is data engineering and RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. The demand here is absolutely critical right now, and the reason is simple. RAG is basically how you stop an AI from hallucinating. It grounds the AI in a company's actual, private, factual data. With a midpoint salary hovering around $153,000, these professionals are the ones feeding real-time context into enterprise systems. To really master this one, you need to get familiar with vector databases like Pinecone, orchestration tools like LangChain, and some solid big data frameworks. But here's the catch. Having a totally brilliant AI model is entirely useless if you can't actually deploy it. And that brings us to number 6, MLOps and LLOps. These engineers are the massive bottleneck solvers of 2026. It's exactly why their total compensation can absolutely soar up to $350,000. They're the ones building continuous integration pipelines and ensuring that systems, like real-time fraud detection, don't just instantly crash when thousands of users hit them all at once. To break in here, you've got to get your hands dirty with infrastructure tools like Docker, Kubernetes, and MLflower.
Okay, we're about to break into the top 5, but before we do, we really need to define a term that has completely taken over in 2026, context design. So, context design is basically the next evolution of prompt engineering. We've completely moved away from just handing an AI a single static prompt. Instead, context design is about orchestrating a dynamic, living information ecosystem. It's feeding the AI a continuous, updating flow of data from multiple sources so its context window is adapting in real time. It's a total game changer.
And that perfectly sets up skill number 5, context design and AI literacy. What makes this one so incredibly powerful is that it's hands down the most accessible on-ramp for non-technical professionals. Right now, roughly 50% of tech jobs require baseline AI skills. If you're in marketing, HR, or sales, mastering context design gives you a massive 35% to 43% salary uplift. Why? Because it makes you the ultimate AI translator. And the best part? You can learn this through focused 15-week boot camps centered on building enterprise co-pilots and smart automations. No 4-year computer science degree required.
All right, breaking into the top 4, we have what is widely being hailed as the single most important job of 2026, the AI agent orchestration specialist. Think about it for a second. A company can go out and buy an AI agent to act as a marketing analyst, right? But if they don't integrate it properly, it's just a soulless algorithm causing a bunch of bottlenecks. Agent orchestration is all about the deep integration of these autonomous AI agents into actual human workflows, creating a truly seamless human-AI team.
The orchestrator is essentially the person who teaches these agents the unwritten rules, the cultural calibration, and the overall system choreography of a company. Organizations are buying up agents like crazy, but without orchestration specialists to properly onboard them and bridge that integration gap, those agents just flat out fail. But when it's done right, we're seeing major banks use orchestrated agents to process loans 40% faster. Getting into this requires a solid mix of process engineering, domain partnership, and deep AI systems fluency.
$250,000. Let that number sink in for a second. That is the top-end annual salary for our number 3 skill. It's a total hidden gem that perfectly bridges the massive gap between highly technical engineers on one side and business leaders who just want a problem solved on the other.
Number 3 is AI product management. These are the folks actually deciding what AI gets built in the first place, ensuring it solves a real, tangible user problem. The demand here is off the charts, and the salary potential sits extremely comfortably between $180,000 and $250,000. And the absolute best twist, you don't even need to be a developer to do this. If you have exceptional communication skills, a really deep understanding of user needs, and a solid working knowledge of how AI tools function, you could be leading AI product rollouts at major tech firms.
Moving to our top 2 now, $4.88 million. That staggering figure is the global average cost of a data breach today. AI has unfortunately introduced entirely new vulnerabilities, things like prompt injections, huge data leaks through generative AI tools, and shadow AI running unchecked inside organizations. And this terrifying reality perfectly explains the massive explosion in demand for our number 2 skill.
Skill number 2 is AI security and red teaming. This is a job where you literally get paid to try and break AI systems, finding the cracks before the malicious hackers do. Demand for this is projected to surge 35% by 2028, and right now, there is almost no supply of talent to meet it. Organizations are absolutely terrified of their proprietary data leaking. To get into this highly lucrative field, you'll need hands-on training and specific certifications, like the CAISP that really dig into the OWASP LLM Top 10 vulnerabilities and MITRE Atlas defenses.
All right, we made it. Now for the number 1 AI skill in 2026. This is a role that commands executive compensation packages frequently exceeding $350,000. And honestly, it is arguably the single most critical leadership position for any organization trying to deploy AI at scale today.
The number 1 skill is AI ethics and governance. Look, as governments worldwide scramble to enforce massive regulations like the EU AI Act, organizations desperately need impartial experts to manage compliance, prevent algorithmic bias, and ultimately build trust. We're talking about a need for over 100,000 of these professionals every single year. A chief AI ethics officer can easily earn well over $350,000. And the most beautiful thing about this skill is how heavily it values diverse backgrounds. Lawyers, sociologists, HR professionals, if you can blend your existing expertise with a deep, solid knowledge of AI risk and compliance, you are virtually indispensable right now.
So if there's one crucial point linking all of these top 10 skills together, it's summarized perfectly by this idea. Human judgment plus AI capability equals career value. Pure human work without AI? That's getting cheaper every single day. Pure AI work without human guidance, it just isn't reliable enough for high-stakes decisions. But when you take human judgment and layer it on top of AI capability, that combination is absolutely priceless in 2026.
So how do you actually get there? Well, if you're looking to pivot, you basically have two choices. You could take the slow path, going all the way back to school for a 4-year computer science degree to learn traditional coding. But the fastest skill to learn for non-technical professionals is absolutely AI literacy and context design. You don't need to be an engineer building foundational models from scratch. You just need to learn how to operate, govern, and seamlessly integrate the models that already exist right into your current domain.
To get you started right away, here is a highly actionable 90-day roadmap. For your first 30 days, focus purely on core literacy and context. Learn language model APIs and really practice your context design. Once you've got that down, move into RAG and workflow integration for step 2. Try building a simple pipeline, maybe a company Slackbot that answers questions based on internal documents. Finally, in step 3, focus on portfolio deployment. Get a live, practical system running that users can actually interact with and learn how to optimize its costs. Trust me, project-based learning beats passive tutorials every single time. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. The window of opportunity is wide open right now. But as more people wake up to these incredible new roles, the early movers are the ones who are going to lock in the best positions and the highest salaries. So, I want to leave you with one final very important question. Which of these 10 paths will you take today to future-proof your career? Pick one, start building that portfolio, and take full control of your value in this AI-driven economy. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and keep learning.